One of the series on the channel that's done exceedingly well is Phobias of Dragons, and we've taken a whole host of phobias from crabs to donuts to beans to common ones like fire, insects, spiders, and we've turned them into dragons. Well, for today's episode, we're going to take 3 more phobias, and you guessed it, more turning phobias into dragons. Let's bring these illustrations to life.
Well now, isn't this a quaint little dimension we've been sent to this time, Demonica? Shame Nexum and Dino can't be here, but there's been no sign of them. Apparently, seeing what beasties live in this dimension be an urgent mission for us. Though, I must say, it's nice to arrive where we are meant to be without any additional adventures. Now where should we start?
Erronfold, I think things are not quite straightforward in this dimension. I'm sensing a lot of dark forces around here. There's one heading from over there.
Let's go check it out then, lass. Oh, by the way, I mean to ask you about something.
What would that be?
Well, you see, while I was in your body, and a fine body it is, it changed form in that underwater world.
Yes, I remember. What about it?
It got me wondering, you see, is this your real form, or do you have another? I mean, I know you're a demon, but after being in your body and it changing, makes me wonder if there's more to you than meets the eye.
Well, I'm a demon and I have several powerful abilities. As for other forms, I can make my wings appear and disappear to blend in. I expect it is a side effect of that dimension we were in. After all, we all had extra abilities, and our bodies were altered.
That's a fair point, lass. Wait, what's that over there? I have a feeling that you were right. Something over there is giving me bones a chill. Not in a good way. Good old Erronfold here has an ominous feeling about this. Perhaps a fine battle lies ahead.
Mission log. I've tracked the target for the last week. Supplies are low, but I've narrowed it down to this area. Currently, there are no casualties. However, that might be down to dumb luck. Ever since this thing, species, whatever it was, hatched from this large pod-like eggs, and the spider creature thing came out, it infected a dragon. Afterwards, the creature fell dead. The dragon did wake, but it roared in pain as it put a claw over its chest. Then, one final scream of pain, its chest exploded from the inside out. I doubt I'll ever be able to get that image out of my head. I've seen some absolutely crazy things in my time, but seeing something burst out the chest of this dragon that then ran off with a second set of teeth or a second mouth, and it took on some strange form of this dragon and what can best be described as an alien organism. It's enough to give you Alienophobia, the fear of aliens. Wait, what's that noise over there? What the hell are civvies doing here? I thought this place was empty. Damn it. Well, it's not my problem if they cross paths with this XenoDrago. Ah, hell. I better not lose my target doing this.
What's that over there, lass? Is that a beastie? I hope it is. The bones are itching for a fight. Ah, for Redragon's sake, it's just a man.
Yes, it is a man. I thought it was just beasts in this area. No people was what the scouting team said.
Best keep your guard up. No telling what this fella might do.
So, there are some civvies out there. Great, that's all I need. You two need to get out of here now.
Why is that? We've a task to do here. Have you seen any beasties on your travels?
Beasties? You mean like dragons and that? Sure, I have. I'm tracking a rather dangerous one now. That's why you need to get out of here before it finds you.
A dangerous beast, you say?
Erronfold, there's a glint in your eyes. Don't get any ideas now. You know that we aren't here to slay everything you find.
Slay everything you find? Looking for beasts? Just who the hell are you people?
I'm Demonica, and this is Erronfold. We are here to...
Motion alert, motion alert. Target is on the move. Distance, 80 meters.
80 meters away, you say? Which direction is it in? Let's go see this beastie, shall we?
Distance, 70 meters.
Okay, we need to get out of sight and hide. This is not something you look prepared to deal with.
Nah, lad. You're quite all right. I'm going to face this beastie head on and slay it. Seems like I'll be doing you a favour.
You're out of your mind.
Distance 60 meters.
We don't have time for this. We need to get out of sight, now, and keep quiet. Follow me, and I'll tell you about this beast. Just hurry up before it finds us.
Fine. But it better be as deadly as you say, or you and me will be having more than just words.
Whatever. Just follow me.
Distance 50 meters.
Don't you think it might be an idea to turn that thing off? Otherwise, it will find us?
Don't worry, I'm on it. Good. Now just keep quiet, and hopefully it will pass us.
My, what a strange yet magnificent beast that is. Looks like something from another world. Well, to me, it is from another world. Ain't that right, Demonica?
What are you on about? It's clear this thing is an alien. In fact, it's the result of an alien using a dragon as a host, and that thing burst right out of its chest, killing the dragon.
Really? Can you show me where this dragon corpse is? It's a shame I couldn't see it in person.
Say what now?
Don't mind her, lad. She's a demon after all. Blood and gore is right up her alley. Back to the matter at hand. Alien, you say? Not sure I've slayed an alien before. What's this beast called? I think I need to face it. Head on for a warm-up. My, it's got a mouth inside its mouth. That should make things interesting. Har.
You're both out of your minds. Just who the hell are you two? And to answer you, Mr. Deathwish over there, you can't just fight that thing on your own, head on. If it had a human host, maybe. But a dragon, the minute you cut that thing, you'll be dead.
What do you mean, lad? Now you've really piqued me interest.
Mine as well.
Right, I'll tell you. That thing's, well, I'm calling it a XenoDrago.
XenoDrago. Has a nice ring to it.
Thanks. Anyway, this thing's from an alien creature that has various stages of development. I won't bore you with all the details, but here's the main thing. Once it impregnates a host, the egg carrier dies, and this alien creature, called a xenomorph, grows inside the chest. How long it grows for varies depending on the creature implanted and the host.
Then it bursts out of their chest? How wonderful.
Yeah, sure, lady. The moniker, was it? It's really wonderful, having an alien burst and rip your chest open from the inside out. And, well, dying.
I forget, you humans are quite fragile. A hole in the chest and you die. It's a shame.
Lady, you're one too see no short of an egg sack. 'Cause you'll die with a hole in your chest. What do you think you are, immortal or something?
Well...
Seriously, lass, you're immortal.
Look, you two focus. Once it's in the host, it takes on the characteristics of said host. And when it bursts out of the chest, like you said, it has a hybrid form of all the evolutions plus the features of the last host. This time, it was a dragon, so it has wings. It can probably breathe fire. Great. So fire's out of the question then. At least, I hope it's fire, and not the same stuff its blood's made out of.
What are you rambling on about its blood for? Is it some kind of acid that'll melt your bones, or...?
How'd you know? If it doesn't breathe fire like a dragon, then it might breathe its acidic blood, or a similar substance. Its blood is like a molecular acid. It'll melt through pretty much anything, until there's nothing left. So, if you do manage to cut through the hide of this thing with your weapon, it'll melt. Let alone, you'll be sprayed with blood, and that's it. No more Mr. Deathwish.
'Tis fine, lad. I've faced beasties with acid-like blood before, and I'm still here. Just let me slay the beasts, and we can call it a day. Har.
You're serious, aren't you? You're either brave or foolish. I think it's the latter. Where are you from?
Oh, that's right. You don't know, do you? We aren't from this dimension, so you could say we're also aliens to this world, like that XenoDrago over there.
Great. Just great. I think I might end up with a case of Alienophobia after all.
You'll be fine, lad. Anyway, I'm off to slay the XenoDrago.
You're off to what? Are you even human?
Aye, lad. Can you not tell from the fact I'm bleeding just a tad?
I'm not sure how you survived that. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure I could. And I deal with hunting down and exterminating xenomorphs. I've taken down hundreds over the years, but never XenoDrago.
Don't be too hard on yourself, lad. I've spent many years fighting all manner of beasties, including dragons of all types and sizes. Plus, as long as you know this beast's blood is like acid, it's easy to avoid.
You've got guts. I doubt I could take it on like you did. Don't get me wrong, I was planning to take it out, but I wouldn't take it head on unless it was a last resort. Yet you just charged right in at it and in an instant slashed it with your spear without hesitation. I mean, acid for blood? What were you thinking?
The thing about Erronfold is he's a bit of a battle junkie, and he's always charged in once he finds a strong opponent.
That does explain a few things, but...
Never mind that, lad. What can you tell us about the other beasties in this area? Are there any more as interesting, nay, as strong as that XenoDragon? Oh, Erronfold here could do with another bit of exercise.
A bit of exercise. You were fighting that thing for over an hour, and that's a bit of exercise. Okay, you're some form of robot, aren't you? An android? There's no way you're this strong and have enough energy to fight again, even if you're from another world.
Even amongst humans, Erronfold is a bit of a stamina freak. I guess being a battle junkie, having a lot of stamina is something you build up over time.
I guess that's true. Coming from another world, you might have differences beyond what I know. I'm kind of jealous. It would be amazing to have those abilities in my line of work. Though, I have to ask, do you have anything you're afraid of?
Well, lad, I won't be telling you if there was, especially not with this demoness here.
Come on now, Erronfold. Be a sport and tell the man. I'm sure there has to be something amazing that scares you.
She has a point. Whatever scares you must be incredibly, insanely amazing.
It's not as marvellous or mystical as you think.
It's not a bunny, is it? Or a tiny little mouse? Wait, I know. It's a grasshopper, isn't it? It's definitely a grasshopper.
That would be a sight to see. Unless they are like the ones from my dimension. Giant, monstrous, and demonic in every sense of the word.
Sounds like a lovely place. But what is it you're afraid of? I mean, you just thought of a XenoDrago. I'm super curious.
We won't laugh.
Well, you say that now. Fine, I'll tell you what it is. Well, it's turtles.
Turtles?
Aye, turtles. Those blasted sea creatures, the green ones, with the fins and hard shell on their backs.
Why are you afraid of turtles?
Well, 'tis a fine tale, and I'll tell you about the origins of how the strange fear came to be. Back in my homeland, when I was a young greenhorn, I decided to fight this dragon, one who was a tougher beast than I first expected. It was a dragon, and a tough one at that, green in colour like any other dragon. However, this one had the features of a turtle. In my haste, I decided to take the beast on as soon as I learned its whereabouts. As I found the beast, I leapt at it and drove my spear straight down and true at his eye. However, the bugger was far faster than its turtle-like stature, and, well, he turned his armor shell like hide to me. By hide, I mean his blasted spiked back. My spear bounced off the tough shell, and I flew back through the air. As I hit the ground, the earth shook. To my surprise, I was hit to the ground a second time. However, it was under the fin of this monstrous beast. As you can imagine, it was the last thing I expected, and I was just lying there, slightly battered and sprawled on the ground. Ashamed to say after that, I started to lose focus, and a blurry shadow passed over me. A cry from the beast was the last thing I heard before I passed out.
I don't see the shame in that, but what happened? Obviously you survived, but like my first encounter with xenomorphs, I survived on dumb luck and the fact that I was saved by others who weren't so fortunate. But it's not me we're talking about. What happened next?
Well, as you might be able to tell, old Erronfold here survived. However, in all my years, I haven't seen hide nor hair of that beast. Though, since it was so strong, it's left a rather distasteful fear of anything like that beast. till I can find the actual creature itself and slay it. Tells I give my bones a wee bit of hesitation when I see them.
That's understandable. A thrashing like that must have hurt your pride at the time.
'Tis true, lad, that it did. Anyway, the moniker, what about you? What's your fear?
I'm afraid I don't have one.
Seriously, you're not afraid of anything.
I'm a demon. Causing fear is what we do, not experiencing it.
I suppose you do have a point there, but everything living must have a fear, unless you're a robot. Those things don't have emotions to fear anything.
Although I do remember a dragon that Erronfold once told me about. A dragon that was perfect for anyone who has Toulougeaphobia, the fear of tongues.
Oh, I remember now, lass. 'Tis a fine beastie, this one. And 'twas a few years back I heard tell of this beast-like creature, one that put the fear into those it encountered. It swarmed through the villages, eating everything in sight. All that was left was a slimy aftermath. It covered everything: buildings, wreckage, broken stalls, the remains of corpses. It was a mystery what the strange slime-like substance was. It wasn't the same as those slimes, the weak monsters you find all over. It was more lifeless. Those that followed the trail were left half-eaten all over the ground. It was then that my party and I were called to take on this beastie. We hunted the beast, day and night, not sure how long, but in the end we managed to catch up to it. And it was a far uglier beast than anyone could have imagined. It had mouths and long saliva-covered tongues over its body. It was pink in colour, just like a tongue, other than a few parts that were solid like the teeth and claws of this creature. The rest of the body was like a giant tongue in texture, and it had several limbs hanging between the teeth on its back. Truly a sight to behold, and not one for those with a weak stomach. The newbie in my team did just that, emptied his breakfast all over the ground.
Lovely.
It was at this point the beast turned towards where we were hiding and began to head our way. We scattered to the undergrowth. Well, all except the newbie. Poor lad was too busy throwing his guts up to notice the beast gaining on him. One of the beast's long tongues grabbed the boy and lifted him into the air, slowly moving him towards his mouth. I was ready to strike the beastie, but as I raised my spear, the greenhorn showed some guts and drove his daggers into the tongue, causing him to fall to the ground.
The poor creature.
The lad must have been traumatized.
No, I mean the beast whose tongue got hurt. This sounds like a wonderfully monstrous creature.
Say what?
Her, don't mind the moniker. She has a kindred spirit with beasties and creatures.
Okay, so about this creature. What was it?
Now, where did I get to?
The new kid dropped to the ground after stabbing the tongue of that.
Aye, that's right. The lad was covered in the monstrous saliva. It was at this point the dagger's blade fell to the ground. The saliva was strong enough to melt the blades. It was also at this point the newbie dropped to the floor, skin melted and all.
You're sure that thing wasn't part xenomorph?
Of that I'm sure. Despite acting fast, the poor lad met his demise. We moved back to the brush and watched as it devoured his remains before heading back on its path. It was obvious that the weapons we had might not be enough, so we had to think of a new plan. And we had one choice, one way we could handle this beastie with what we had on us. It wasn't time to get more gear, to rally more adventurers, though then he would have just been food for this beastie to distract it.
How would you deal with the beast then?
Well, we waited for the beast to hit a rather narrow passage. After deciding who would distract the beast and who would collapse the top of the passage on it, old Erronfold here had the task of distracting the beast, which I didn't mind. My bones were itching for a fight, even though it was a case of keeping this beastie at bay. We brought the passage down on the beast's head. My last member of the party stood in front of the rubble and was overjoyed that the beastie had been dealt with.
You killed the beast then?
Afraid not, lad. The beast wasn't dead, but it was trapped.
How did you know the beast wasn't dead?
Well, the beast's tongue shot out and grabbed my teammate, fast as lightning. Before we could react fast enough, she was pulled into the rubble before a loud scream and the crunching of bones could be heard.
I hope you all enjoyed the story on this one, and I had a lot of fun coming up with the designs for these three phobias. I think the XenoDrago was probably the most fun to draw, the Alienophobia. As soon as I kind of saw that phobia, I thought, Alienophobia, alien, xenomorph. It kind of made sense. If you like this episode, why not check out the other videos in the Phobias Dragon series? We have the fear of bones, fire, thunder, spiders, even donuts and beans. I'll link a playlist in the description and somewhere on the screen. Monday is going to be another live stream where we draw something, chill and hang out. Don't forget, there is still time to enter this month's community redraw, which is design your own fake mon. You need to submit a headshot and a body shot, and the name of the fake mon, its abilities, main type, and possibly a little bit of information about it. It can be a Pokemon or a Digimon. Submission deadline is the 18th of August, and you can submit via the details in the description below. That's it for today's video. Stay safe, everybody. Catch you next time.